There is somewhat of an irony in this game at the moment. Something that, well, it's just kind of dumb and funny at the same time, really. Back in I think it was April, they released the movie, a Minecraft movie, in fact, with Jack Black and Jason Momoa, and it was a big thing, and there were chicken jockeys and all sorts, and people screaming and shouting. And lava chicken was a thing in the film. They made a big deal about the lava chicken. In fact, they wrote an entire song about the lava chicken. And then Mojang, not long after that, released an update that broke lava chicken farms, or as I've always called them, chickenators. So our one here on the server that's by the spawn at the little spawn village, little starter village here, has been out of service for a little while and hasn't been producing. In fact, apparently it has been producing stone, but there's been an expanse of chickens escaping from it and no meat being produced. And yeah, it's a bit. Oh, hello. You see, it's full of chickens, but not in the good way. So I want to fix that quickly before we really get started with this video. But that's the irony that as soon as they create a song about lava chicken and a movie which highlights the lava chicken farms, they immediately go and break it so it doesn't work. However, I have worked out a fix. Well, I'm not going to boast about it. It's not like it's a complicated thing or anything. It's just very quick fix, hot fix for this minecart, this farm. That should be fairly easy to install quite quickly, but I need a particular block for it, and it's a block that I haven't actually got anywhere, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to find one if I head down into my the old mines down here. Somewhere out here, there's an area that I didn't really explore all that fully, and I'm hoping that it'll have the block that I require right there. There should be an area around here. This is it. This is the area I didn't really explore, and that is what I need. Redstone ore. Drink. I'll grab some more. You never know. Might come in handy. So my little refit for this thing is outrageously simple. And I don't even know why I'm really talking about it. To be honest, it's just something that I need to get done because people have been saying they can't eat chicken. So let's fix that for them. All I'm going to do basically is make the lava work on a timer, a randomized timer, in fact. So I'm going to put. Oh, I can't press buttons correctly. Here we go. We're going to put a dispenser right there. So that's going to shoot the lava out. I think I've missed a block. We're going to put an observer right there. And then I want a repeater here. We're going to put that on 3 ticks. I'm going to break out these ladders, no longer necessary. And I want to go and get back these blocks that fell in here. And I want to put them right here and here. No. No. We're going to put the observer, the second observer, facing this way into here, so it's powering this guy. And then right there, I want to put the redstone ore that we just collected. And on top of it, I'm going to put an armor stand. So what this is going to do, the armor stand is going to update the redstone block here. Every so often, it's going to unupdate itself and going to be immediately re-updated by the armor stand. So it's always going to be constantly glowing. And those updates are going to be detected by this observer, which is going to trigger this repeater, which will trigger this observer. The observer will pick up when the repeater both turns on and off, putting 2 signals out through this dispenser, both releasing and withdrawing the lava, as perfectly demonstrated right then. So all we need to do is cap that and refill in here somewhere where the chickens live, which is right there. So I just need to add in a bunch of chickens in there, and we'll put that there, and then we just throw a bunch of eggs in here, and then I'll do an AFK session in a little bit, and we'll see whether this has actually fixed the problem or not. I'd like a chicken, please. There we go. Demonstration chicken. So chicken lays egg gets kicked into dispenser, dispenser kicks egg out into chamber, chicken grows up, armor stand triggers ore block, triggers observers, spits out lava, withdraws lava, and we get cooked chicken. That's more like it. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So yeah, the final touch, of course, is to add this head right here. So I'm going to do an AFK session here at some point and see whether it's actually functioning now and we're getting chickens out of this thing, or chicken meat out of this thing. But I'll do that. I'll do that in a little bit. In the meantime, I can finally say hello, my friends. This is Ian, aka Malice, and welcome back to Minecraft. And in today's episode, we got some stuff to do. First of all, I want to show you what I've done over at Spawn. For I've done a little bit of development over there. Give me some rockets, and I fly. We fly over here, and you can see we've got a little bit of a shanty town that I've started building up over here. It's not much yet. I'm going to continue developing this, probably off camera on stream and things. But essentially all we've got a couple of broken ships buried in the sand with some sails or something spread over them with beds and things. This is basically just so that people who end up back at spawn have somewhere to sleep if it's dark. And there's crafting benches and an ender chest and chests and stuff. We also got a couple of shipping containers here, which is kind of cool. I'm not totally sold on the design of them. I think they're okay. I'm sure I could come up with something better, maybe. I think they look alright though, as shipping containers. I was going to put iron bars on here, but it looked weird, and they looked even weirder with doors. So, yeah, I don't know how to improve upon them. I don't want them to be any bigger than this. That's the main problem. But yeah, I think they look kind of cool. We moved all the llamas that are around the place in here, and there's the polar bear, necessary for a tropical deserted island thing. And then there is this part, which is just a minecart system, which is going to take players out to, there's a community farm area over there, I believe, made by Ebbs Fay, and affectionately named Industry Hill. And this is a very simple setup. It's not recycling the minecarts at all. In fact, if I do a bit of free cam, you'll be able to see. We're just creating new minecarts. So there's a barrel filled with iron blocks above there. The crafter turns the iron blocks into bars or ingots, and the ingots go in there and turn into minecarts, and the minecarts go into a droppervator, and then anytime a minecart goes over this detector rail, it spits out a fresh minecart onto this side, and when the minecart gets to the other side, well, it'll just get destroyed. And then we'll have a similar system to send them back over here, and we'll have another return station. I think over here that will just destroy the minecarts as well. There's so much iron. There's like at least 3 or 4 iron farms on the server. We're never going to run out of iron for this thing, so I'm not too concerned about that. But that's what I've done at spawn. It's not a lot, but it's something. But that's not what I want to work on with you today. For today's episode, ignore the pillagers. I wanna depot them at some point, but I'll get to that sometime. Today, I want to work on that. Ow. Hey. In the last video, I showed off the farm over there. That is the gunpowder and record farm that I built on over a few different streams. And I've been trying to figure out how I want to skin it, what I want to put around it, make it look pretty. Because at the moment, it's kind of ugly. So I want to do something with it and make it look a bit nicer. And I've been trying to figure out what it is exactly that I want to do, what I think will look good. And I think I've got a plan. One of the other players, Buffy, whose base I was looking at the very start of this episode, suggested, what about doing Laputa, the Castle in the Sky, from the Studio Ghibli anime film? I don't actually know if I've seen that Studio Ghibli. It's familiar, but I don't know whether I'm getting it mixed up with Howl's Moving Castle. Either way, I'm not going to build that exactly. I'm going to take inspiration from it, but I've never really done a floating sky island before, so I'm going to just chill out and have fun, just riffing on that idea, I think, to cover this up. And for a change, because I haven't done it yet in this series of videos, I'm not going to use Light Massacre. I'm going to build this off the cuff from on the server from scratch. So that should make it far more complicated because I have no idea how many resources I'm going to need to do it. So I'll try and bring you along for the building process, and can show you exactly where my head is at as I'm building it. But first, I think I need to build something of a wireframe to give myself an idea of the scale and what needs to be actually incorporated into this thing. This bit down here, for example, this can go. This is older, don't need it anymore. This was an old catchment system which didn't work very well. And I know this platform at the top here can go away. This one here is kind of the ideal AFK spot for the whole farm, so I want to kind of incorporate that as best I can. But this platform can be stripped out. This platform and this platform can be stripped out. All that stuff down there can come away. And obviously the scaffolding needs replacing. But yeah, let's hop into a bit of a time lapse for the first stretch of this. And we'll see how we get on. So the wireframe is complete. This should give a good idea of the size and the shape of the flying island here. Let me land and we'll use free cam. It will be easier. You can say it's kind of got this like teardrop, upside down teardrop shape. The top bit cut off. It's asymmetrical. That's very deliberate. Make it look more natural. It's got this little jutty out bit on the side, and it comes up higher at this side than it does over here. And then also, if I take a look at it from the side here, you can see that it's much thinner across this side as well. And again, we've got that slope following up and around the top. And what I'm thinking of doing is having some kind of a tower on top. Abandoned old looking tower, overgrown and things, and then have some kind of a tree kind of curving up and around it, like curling around this thing and up to the top here where the AFK platform is. I think that'll look pretty cool, especially in the sunset like that. I want to put a bubble vator in, I think, coming up the side here, so you can get from the bottom here up to the AFK platform. I think that would be a good idea. So the next phase, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to build up probably the rest of this, or at least the majority of it. So we'll start with filling out this island and getting that all looking nice and pretty. Then we'll put the grassy, mossy bit on top. We'll have some overhangy bits coming off, and then the tree as well. And there's some other details that I kind of want to add to it as well, which I think will make it absolutely awesome. So yeah, I'm going to carry on going now that it's night. It's not a spawn proof. I've already had a creeper. I've had a creeper drop on me and blow up the chests right here where I'm stood. So that was bad. So I need to get this done sooner rather than later, because otherwise people are going to be wanting gunpowder and they're going to be exploding from creepers and dying to skeletons and stuff, and that would be bad. So we've got to get this sorted. So yeah, back to the build. Okay, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I need moss. I need moss. Moss. I need, I think it's this one. We'll grab that actually. Do I have any glowberries? I need glowberries as well. Don't appear to have any in there. Or in there. Okay, I need to go and get glowberries from somewhere. I also need glass. Is that everything? I think that's everything. Okay, I'm just gonna... We'll nip to the star space. We'll see if we can find any glowberries. But the creeper farm... Actually, I'll do that in a bit. Let's go have a look at the creeper farm and see what what we have accomplished in the last little while. For it's coming along. I have done quite a lot of work. So completed the entire bottom section, that wireframe that we started with. That's all been filled in nicely. We've got the tower on top. I think that's looking pretty good. And then the tree as well. Let's land and we'll go into free cam as we do, and we can get a better look at this thing. So we have got the island at the bottom. Obviously, you saw the wireframe for that and how that was coming together. And I think that has all... that's come together quite nicely. I'm pretty happy with the shape and the texturing and things on it. The tower thing in the center. This didn't quite turn out as I was hoping it to. Again, this is not detailed in any way yet. This is just the basic shape of the thing. But I like how it's come out. I also like that you can kind of see into the farm from it. I've replaced some of the stone brick with tinted glass so you can see straight into the farm, but from afar it just looks like a black void, and that goes for the windows as well all round. There's a window on each side, and then obviously we have the tree at the back, which that was the most time consuming and difficult part to achieve, but I like the way that the roots are kind of hanging off the edge of the cliff, off the edge of the island. I think that looks pretty cool. It needs a little bit of differentiation here. Kind of the bark, the tree itself kind of disappears into the soil, and I've missed a bit here. I can fix that. That's fine. And then obviously we've got the AFK spot up here. What I've done, what I think I said before, is I'll have a bubble veta coming up the side here. Obviously that was a stupid idea because that's not where the tree is. The tree is over here, so there is room for a bubble veta in here, and that was probably the most difficult part of the tree, is trying to figure out how to incorporate that and have the tree look natural. So you can see this is where the exit and entrance from the AFK spot will be for the bubble veta. You can see it drops all the way down to the back here of the farm. So that's come out pretty well. The tree itself is just oak at the moment. Again, not really detailed. You see I've used spruce fences for the branches, and then the leaves themselves are a mix of oak leaves and mangrove leaves. And I think that looks pretty cool. One thing that I do whenever I'm doing custom trees, and I've done here as well, you might have noticed in previous episodes that I use the bushier leaves thing, I think from Vanilla Tweaks. Whenever I'm making a custom tree, I turn it off, because otherwise you can end up not... the bushiness of the leaves kind of makes it look much better than it is. And then you turn off the bushy leaves and it just looks stupid. So I turn it off and then make it look good without it first, and then I'll turn it back on later and it will look even betterer, even more betterer. Everything's all lit up. So you can see we've got lighting all the way around. Using Mini HUD, you can see that there's no dark spots in there. Oh no, I tell a lie, there are two. And then there's a couple here, but they're under fence posts, so they won't be spawnable. But we can fix this. We'll just use a little bit more of the glow lichen up here to make that better. But yeah, that's kind of it for the general structure. Obviously, I haven't got the fascia on here, how I want to do the entrance into the actual farm. We'll get that done today. And we're going to do a bunch of detailing for the rest of the episodes as well. Just make this look a lot better than it is. I think the next stage, the detailing, is going to be what makes this go from looking pretty cool to just looking freaking amazing. That's the plan anyway. But detailing wise, let's talk about that quickly. what I want to do. So I went and I grabbed a bunch of moss. So I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna replace a bunch of the oak wood here with moss. Also, I think I will replace a bunch with. I think I've got some acacia down here. Yeah, we've got pale oak and I've got some acacia that I've harvested up, and I'll do some texturing up there with that. I might use some tuff as well in the texturing of the bark. I think that'll look pretty neat. I shall also add some foliage and stuff to the grass, maybe some bushes and some other bits, leaf blocks and bushes and maybe little trees and stuff all the way around. That's the next stage, and then I'll bring you back when I've got some more things, more detailing things to talk to you about. So let's just. I'm going to sleep the night away first, and then let's do some texturing together. So what I am going to attempt to do is try and make this tree look a little bit older than it is by adding in some texturing with the tuff and the moss and some acacia wood and the pale oak as well, just to try and make it feel a little bit more like it's kind of old and been around for a while, growing out this the top of this tower thing. What's the story here? I have no idea. Some wizard was playing around with magic and accidentally made his tower float away and a tree grow out the roof, I guess. That seems logical to me. So yeah, it's just a case of kind of going through, replacing some of the oak here and there with the different blocks and trying to make them look kind of natural-ish. So if we come away from that, you can see it kind of, maybe I don't like the tuff, perhaps. But the moss and the acacia and the pale oak, I think, is working. I think tuff is what's detracting from that. Normally, I quite like tuff in trees, but it's not working today. So let's remove that. We'll go with more. Let's put some acacia in. How's that feel? Does that feel better? Yeah, that feels better. That feels like it's an old, mossy, overgrown tree. So we'll do some of that all throughout the tree. That's one thing. The other thing that I want to do, I think I mentioned, we'll put some of the moss. We can do. Do I have any? No, I don't have any bone meal on me. But we'll replace some of this dirt with moss as well. We'll bone meal that. We'll get all sorts of texture and stuff out of that. We'll probably do something similar with some of the edges around here, particularly like where the tower meets the ground and is up against the tree. That's going to be getting a lot more moisture, so should have more moss and stuff as well. Also, I want to break up the tower a bit. Let me grab some bits for that. So with the tower, along with having the kind of moist bits, the damper bits, which are all kind of mossy and things, what I will do is I will come through. Oh, there's dirt in there. That's interesting. We'll get rid of that, but we can use the birch stairs and sandstone stairs and stuff to make kind of these cracky bits going on in it as well. So we can bring out that. We'll put in, maybe we'll have the sandstone stair in there and a birch one in there. And then when we get rid of, do I have any shovel on me? No, I do not. Get rid of this stuff. Then we should end up with some nice looking kind of broken cracks and stuff in the tower. And we could even then have like roots and stuff, branches coming out from the tree. I think that would look pretty cool. Maybe have something coming out of here, some leaves and stuff. I have more cracks and broken bits of the tower like that up and around. I want to do some more supports. What are they called? The bits that go around the top under the roof. I can't think of the name of them, but yeah, we'll have some stuff like that. Hey, Gast. We'll do that stuff, and then on the roof, we've at the moment it's just go away. It's just granite, but we can take out some of these granite blocks and replace them with brick. And then we'll do something similar again with the stone, with the stairs. We'll have some broken bits of roof as well using stair blocks, especially around here where the tree has grown through. So yeah, that's all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get as much of that done as I can now. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what I'm doing with the actual island itself. All right, I think I just want to add a couple more vines to maybe the top up here. Let's just pop up quickly. I think just in the roof line here, I think we can get away with a couple of vines just creeping down the side here. I think that'll look pretty cool. And I think that's sort of the top half of the island complete. Let's have a quick look in free cam. And you can see we've got all the foliage going on. That's looking pretty groovy. It's a little bit spotty, but I think that's more or less how I was envisaging it. And then we've got the vines kind of coming out of the roof as well. We've got a hole in the roof now, which I think looks pretty good. I've textured up around the edges using jungle wood, stripped jungle wood, and oak wood, and then along the bottom. For where I was talking about having it look a little bit mossy down the bottom. So there's no real in between this sort of pale brownish yellow and green. The closest I could find was the jungle wood. I've gone with the what was that? There's green terracotta moss and then jungle wood with some vines over it. I think that works kind of okay. The whole thing at the top is looking nicely overgrown and detailed, and you can see what a difference that just that quick pass of detailing has done to it. It's really kind of brought the whole thing to life and made it, given it a story, given it a history. It no longer just kind of looks plonked into the world. It looks like it's been here and everything's kind of overgrown, and it looks like there's history to the build now. And you can see what I've done with the texturing as well on the tree. I think that works. It's a little busy, perhaps, and maybe I want to put some vines on the tree as well. Maybe that would be too busy. I don't know. I'll have to experiment with that. But now I want to focus on the underside of this thing. So I'm thinking dripstone. I'm thinking more of the mangrove roots hanging down the sides and more vines and stuff. I don't want to use these vines because they will end up going all the way down to the water and that'll look dumb. So we're not going to do that, but dripstone, maybe some glowberry vines, and also I'm thinking about bringing some either spruce fences or oak fences as like smaller root systems all around these areas, so there's more roots kind of dangling off the back here and more moss and things to go in them as well. And then once all that's done, we'll work on this bit, which should tie the whole thing together and make it very apparent what it is. Oh, and also I'm thinking about a path. I think mud blocks, packed mud coming down here and maybe like kind of hanging off the edge like it's kind of drooping down should look kind of cool. And then I'm thinking a water feature over here, maybe either like a little pool or a little stream coming out of a spring and just running off the edge here. I'm not going to use water for that though. I'm going to try something else, something I've not tried before, which should look pretty cool. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. So that's it for this update, and we'll come back in a minute once I've done this bottom bit. We shouldn't take too long. It occurs to me that I have no mud, or packed mud, or wheat to make packed mud from mud. So I'm I'm going to go and use Ebbs's mud farm, which is over there, right there. So I'm going to go use that and possibly steal some wheat, perhaps from Buffy. I'm sure they won't mind. They're not here. Nobody's here. Just me and Muffy and Kitten. So tough luck. We'll go through a stack or so of mud, and we should be fine. So this is Buffy's place, and they have a wheat farm over here. I haven't built a wheat farm at all. Like, I have nothing. How have I survived without a wheat farm so far? Who knows? Yeah, I see no problems here. There's more wheat over there. If I need more. I need a crafting table. Is there a crafting table anywhere? Yes. Yoink. Yoink. Perfect! Done! Done and done! I think I need dripstone as well. That took a little bit longer than I had anticipated. I was originally planning on getting this video out, I think, last week sometime, but yeah, doing this project, yeah, it took a bit longer than I had originally planned. But I'm really happy with the result. It's exactly as it was in my mind's eye when I was coming up with the idea for how I wanted to do it. It's, as I say, inspired by the whole floating island thing. A little bit of Laputa, but not obviously not exactly. If you've seen that anime, then you'll know this is nothing like that. But that was where the idea originally started kind of being fleshed out. As you can see, I've added in the path that I was talking about. I think this works really nicely, just kind of dropping off the edge, using the iron bars as kind of holding up bits of the path as it's kind of dangling over the edge. That's really nice. The waterfall here, this little water feature I came up with, I like it. I think it works well. It's a technique I think I'm going to have to practice a bit. It's not exactly as I had it planned, or what I wanted to do with it, but it works. Blue water, the really blue water, I think would have detracted from the build, and also having it coming off the edge here, as I think I said earlier, having it going all the way down to the water would have just looked kind of dumb. Yeah, we've got the glowberries hanging off the edge. I've removed most of the glowberries from it. There's a few more that have grown since. I might keep those ones. I wanted a little bit of light kind of down at the bottom, but not a huge amount. And before it was like they were all up through here and it was really distracting. But I think this level of them kind of works. And then obviously we've got the creeper face in the side of the island itself. And that, again, that works really well. I've just put a blackstone wall at the back there for the time being, just kind of to show this. I've not done any of the inside at all. This is all still very rough. I haven't even done the elevator, and I have not done the AFK spot. I will do those things between this episode and the next. But for the time being, I think we're probably pretty much done with this episode. This has been a hell of a build. And like I say, entirely done without like Massacre, wasn't planned in creative at all. This is organic. This came together completely organically, and I'm really happy with the result of it. It looks, as I say, it looks exactly as it was in my mind's eye. But as I've alluded to earlier, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I've done quite a lot. I have no idea how long this video is actually going to end up. Oh no, I've fallen. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by gravity, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I have no idea how long it's going to end up being. It may end up being one of the longer episodes so far, but I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. And if you have, do please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I shall see you in the next episode, which will, of course, be sometime.